Hiya, welcome to LSB Feasters Radio Channel, where our mission in life is keeping great radio from the past alive. And today we're going to New York City and Imus in the morning. Imus was a radio legend in New York, probably considered the first shock jock, getting to WNBC radio in New York in 1971, left for Cleveland for a couple years in the late 70s when he was brought back to WNBC. He was at WNBC right up to the end and actually hung around when the station flipped to Sports Radio 66 WFAN. Imus was their morning man, and he stayed there for many, many years until 2007 when he got into a little bit of an issue, lost his job, and then a few months later landed the morning show at 77 WABC, and Imus stayed there right up until he decided to retire in 2019. Now, there was a time there back in the 1990s when C-SPAN would bring its cameras and leave Washington and walk away from covering Congress. They would go to WFAN and broadcast Imus's show. I guess they got a lot of positive response because they wound up doing it several times. And I had a chance to record some of these shows when they were on C-SPAN. And in this, you get to see Imus doing the show, behind the scenes. And it's a fascinating watch because you get to see how quick Imus thought. The interaction between him and Charles McCord, and if you stepped on his wrong side during the show, you'd get to see the wrath of Imus live on TV. It was a fascinating watch. So let's go back to the 1990s with C-SPAN and Imus in the morning on 66 Sports Radio WFAN.
Into Route 117 due to a serious accident. I'm Lori McNichol for the 9X Mobile Fan Highway Patrol.
I'm Imus in the morning. This is WFAN in New York. Well, I have to take a little pause.
I understand.
So let me see if I understand this right now. We have 6 sets this hour.
That's correct. 6 commercial sets.
Because we had to drop us at...
6.
Shut up. What are you worried about? Why aren't you wearing one of my brother's T-shirts, first of all?
You didn't give me one.
Well, you know, no, and we're not going to give you one.
No.
You have to buy one.
It's an 800 number.
Talking with our general manager here in New York, Joel Hollander. You are still the general manager, right?
I think so.
We haven't made a decision yet. We're having a review, a year-end review at 10 o'clock in my office, and see that you're in there. And bring a notepad.
Administrator Performance Review.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Anyway, it's time for the news, and
because he's obviously not a leader.
Obviously, you're not getting it done. You talk about that Peter principle.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
You were a great general sales manager.
Happy New Year.
You're Jewish. It's not even. It's not even your New Year. Your New Year was 3 months ago.
Now you've told everybody across America that I'm Jewish.
Oh no, nobody knows.
My wife is holding.
My wife is holding?
Yes.
Okay, here now, Mrs. Hank Snow, as I call her. This is Don Imus, or she calls herself Deirdre Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Congratulations.
For what?
Well, this marriage.
On your recent
Do you
marriage.
remember?
Come
For
on.
lasting this long.
It was just a couple of weeks ago, honey. What happened with you and Four-Legged Fred?
It was like having a flashback on our wedding night.
Pardon? What did you say?
I think
Remember our wedding night? I changed, I go to take my clothes off, you start running around in circles on the bed, then you start banging your head against the wall.
Well,
It's running the family. It must be an Imus thing because I just noticed this morning I got home and I was changing and Colin starts banging her head into the wall.
Well, honey,
I guess it's like an initiation. I'm part of the family now, or
well, yeah, you definitely are an Imus. Yeah. So you're back in the guest room at Fred's Adobe Mansion. You take your clothes off, and the dog jumps up on the bed and starts spinning around and bangs his head into the door.
Yeah.
What would possess you? What would possess you to take your clothes off in front of the dog?
Well, I I love animals.
Yeah, honey. I think this has probably gone far enough. Jesus. I mean, I said, why?
Can you get Dick Armey on the phone again?
It's going to be the next Montel Williams show.
Honey,
Yes.
I love you very much.
I love you.
But and I'll talk to you when I get home, okay?
Okay.
Will you be there?
Yes.
Okay. Little Deirdre Coleman, my wife.
Oh, sweetheart.
Yeah, she is a sweetheart. So you ought to see yourself in the wedding pictures.
What are you talking about?
Man, are you fat?
Don't start this because, there's a camera here. We know we're not.
Hey, Fred, isn't Charles fat?
I can't see all of him because I haven't got that wide-angle lens on him.
3 minutes past the hour, Art.
It's your last chance to drive home an incredible lease deal on a new Roland or Toyota Camry Luxury Edition.
Channel surfing, and there's Fred.
Starring in a Western. Unbelievable. He looks like he fits right in a Western.
Who, Fred?
Yeah.
He's perfect. That is
He's got
the greatest character in the world.
He's a piece of work.
He really is. How funny is Deirdre?
How great was that line?
That was terrific.
That was very funny. Four-legged Fred.
That was great, honey. Pardon me? No, why?
He's good.
Yeah,
That's funny.
How long were you sick for?
I'll see you later.
5 days. One of my clients paid for the whole trip and everything at $176 for full care. It was really fun.
That was terrific.
He had a helicopter in the back of the boat, and the beaches there are really, really great. That St. Bart's is unbelievable.
I'd like to talk about the Atlantic Mobile just extended one of their best offers ever.
Roger Clinton still holding.
I'll take him out of this.
Joe.
Charles, look at this.
What?
You pay him by the hour? Joe.
Trump sucks. What made you do that?
It had nothing to do with it. It's legitimate. It's an AIM protest, is it not?
The Donald will be doing something tomorrow to rebut.
Well, he'll think it's funny.
God, Chuck got really fat.
Look at him holding it in, though. That's what's pathetic. You used to be in as good a shape as a pro athlete.
I put on 12 to 13 pounds. We know that.
My wife tells me I
But
have
I'm
chicken
not
arms.
fat.
You look good.
That's the beginning of the end. Did she say that before the 18th?
You know what Deirdre told me, Bernard?
You around
She
here?
said I had chicken arms.
What am I, crazy?
I am Imus in the morning. It's 5 minutes past the hour. Just discussing with Charles and Bernard and everybody. My wife told me I had chicken arms.
You do.
Yeah, and a buzzard face.
And a chicken neck.
Bernard says I have a rubber chicken face. My wife says I have chicken arms. Well,
Well, at least you're consistent.
As long as you don't have to
Yeah.
check with something else.
Please don't put his.
That was a mistake.
All right, here now, the president, not the president. Didn't we invite the president to appear on the program, Bernard?
Yes, we did.
But in this new move by the establishment media and some of the wussies in the White House, the president's going to try to be more presidential.
Exactly.
And one of the things the president can do to be more presidential, and I've said this for months, is to stop appearing on programs like this.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And stop going on MTV and start, you know.
So now he's going to do that, but it's too late.
Yeah. He is going to do that, but
It doesn't make any difference.
I did everything we've done everything we possibly could do for him, and
You're largely the reason that he maybe have achieved what he has. Come on.
you know what the problem? He overdid it. He went on every every geek's program in America. Like here we have this Jim Bohannon. I'm watching C-SPAN the other night. And then what a geek this guy is. He's got some kind of hideous talk show.
What do you mean?
From some Virginia or someplace.
He's not a geek.
Jim Bohannon?
No,
he's sitting around there talking to Hedrick Smith and some other fat guy from the Washington Post. I forget. He was not with the Washington Post anymore. Who I happen to like, and I can't remember his name.
Bohannon he's not a geek. He and I years ago started at the same radio station in little Springfield, Missouri, and he is an enormous, by the way, Imus fan.
Who's an enormous fan?
Bohannon. He's a huge fan of yours.
And he's a geek.
He honestly is. He's a big admirer of the I-Man. Everything you've done through your career.
Well, I didn't see that much of the program. I mean, I was just... I was watching the football games, actually.
What are you...
It's not so bad.
No, I mean, he was taking some calls. He sounded like a bright guy.
He's a very bright guy.
You know, first of all, C-SPAN's not an accurate reflection of what's happening anyway. I'm sure Bohannon has as fine a show as I now think it is.
It is. It's a great show.
It's 7 minutes after the hour. New York's time for the news. And here with that is my friend Charles McCord. And is Fred going to do his Tri-State Jeep Eagle Sports Lock of the weekend? What is it he does?
It is the sports lock.
Well, it's never about sports.
No,
it's never about anything.
It's also a mystery.
My brother's the owner and operator of the Auto Body Express in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Yeah.
And they sell T-shirts and denim work shirts and denim jackets and hats and mugs and
several of
I
them.
wonder how they'd get a hold of somebody could get a hold of us if they wanted to.
Pardon me?
How could somebody get a hold of us if they wanted to?
If somebody wanted to get a hold of you?
Yeah, and like order something?
Well, they would call you.
How would they do that?
Well, they'd call that 800 number of yours.
You're a real chump, you know that?
My brother, the Auto Body Express, is sponsored by Twin Labs, the makers of these vitamins and stuff, and the number in El Paso is 1-800-272-1957.
Yeah, that's how they
We're
would.
not in El Paso anymore.
Oh, I mean Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Christ.
So what?
Fine.
What's happened to you this morning?
What do you mean by that?
What is the C-SPAN bus doing there, by the way?
They tour the country.
Do they?
That's an educational deal.
Mm-hmm. And is that what this is this morning?
See my hog out there?
I'll say there's a picture of his motorcycle,
Yeah.
Charles.
Good-looking bike, yeah.
There's a sign up there.
Yeah, I see that.
We don't have the phone number up there.
No, I know they don't. They don't have the phone number. First of all, you couldn't fill all your orders for Christmas, so what do you have to sell now? I guess you have to sell these Buffalo T-shirts, right?
That's right.
Yeah, okay, well, people can call and order them. So what is your Jeep Eagle?
San Diego's going to beat Miami.
Okay.
You know, every time Miami wins a game, then they talk about how Shula wins another game.
Right.
All these commentators. Looks to me like when I watch the games, I see these black guys crossing the goal line with the ball into their arm.
Let's not
I
turn.
don't see Shula crossing the goal line.
Let's not turn this into a racial incident.
No, he makes a good point, though.
No, but I mean, these coaches are getting a lot more credit than they deserve. There's only a couple of good coaches, Parcell and the guy at Alabama, Gene Stallings.
Well, that's
If
just.
Denver's smart, if the Broncos are smart,
Yeah.
they hired Gene Stallings.
Well, he didn't do that well in Phoenix.
Yeah, well, he didn't have nothing to work with, didn't have any support.
Oh, okay. So what else is on your?
Cleveland's going to the Super Bowl.
Cleveland's not going to the Super Bowl.
Yes, they are. If Testaverde keeps playing like he did last week, Pittsburgh's not going to beat Cleveland 3 times in 1 year. They're going to go up there and beat them, and then Cleveland can beat either Miami or San Diego.
Please stop talking about sports. Did you make any New Year's resolutions?
No. Yeah, I did make one.
What was that?
I'm going to quit smoking.
Well, yeah, but
I'm trying to get these little Chinese fellas over there in China to smoke about 3 packs of these a day.
Yeah.
Then we won't have any more deficit.
Yeah, well, okay. It's not working, is it, Bernie?
It's working fine. Maybe Roger Clinton.
Could work better.
Possibly.
Good morning, Roger.
Everybody's looking at me. Oh, sorry. For a second, I thought I was on C-SPAN.
No, you're not.
Then I realized I always think everybody's watching me. Hey, man, how's the newlywed?
Well, I'm fine.
You tired of being married yet?
No.
Well, you heard of the 7-year itch, ain't you?
Yeah.
I tell you what, my brother started scratching about 20 minutes after he said I do.
God.
And needless to say, he did. Hey, how happy am I? My man Marion Barry's back in office.
Well.
Gonna get them drugs off the streets and back into the homes where they belong. Hey, did I hear right that Newt Gingrich turned down a $4.5 million advance on them book deals?
Well, I guess he was sort of forced to, yeah.
And people think I'm screwed up. What kind of book did he have to write anyway?
Well,
Look at him, you think it was a cookbook. What was he thinking, man? $4.5 million finances a lot of orphanages. You know, Newt called Bubba, and he said that he'd build the orphanages and let my brother be in charge of filling them up.
Yeah.
Just like they say in Boys Town, he may be heavy, but he's my brother. Hey, I got to go, man. Joyce Ellen Elder's kid's coming over later. I'm going to teach him how to masturbate, and he's going to teach me how to freebase.
Almighty.
Roger Clinton here at the I'm Just Morning program. And Unrehearsed. Something that the IMAN has not had an opportunity to review.
Spontaneity.
Yeah. It's 12 minutes past the hour in New York. What's going on in the world?
Big meeting on tap today for Democrats in Congress as they prepare for the Republicans to take over tomorrow, the 104th Congress. Democrats who managed to survive November will be discussing how they will respond to the GOP's legislative agenda, having been duly warned by incoming House Speaker Newt not to be simply obstructionists. In an interview broadcast on C-SPAN yesterday, Mr. Gingrich warned the Democrats against being the party that just says no. He predicts the Republicans will make some mistakes as they attempt to make their contract with America the law of the land. The Republicans are expected to propose 8 specific pieces of legislation in the House tomorrow, including cutting committee staffs by 1/3, requiring a 3/5 majority vote to increase income taxes, and making Congress follow all the laws that private citizens and businesses do, as you were discussing with some of your guests earlier this morning, IMAN.
By the way, on C-SPAN 2, they are now airing a profile of Newt Gingrich in case you've reached your limit with this.
Yeah. This has just gone far enough.
Yes, that's just you've thought, well, we just don't need any more of this because it's just a talk to watch my brother smoke. And
clearly it's not working.
and me make no sense. You wonder, how did this guy get rich and famous and win all those Marconis doing this?
It's just unbelievable.
Well,
there is no God.
No.
A new USA Today Gallup poll found that more people view incoming Senate Majority Leader Bob Dole as the real leader of the GOP and not Newt Gingrich. 69%, in fact, surveyed for the polls see Senator Dole as the leader of the Republicans. Only 14% see Gingrich in that role.
Hey, Fred.
Yeah.
Is there any way we can meet any of the people who work for you there?
Of course.
Could we meet like Bob?
Yeah. I can walk around, actually.
You can?
Oh, great.
Why don't you do that? We'll do some more news.
Oh, this
and
is
then
neat.
Any funny people around here, Fred?
Is anybody funny in your entire building there, Fred? Go ahead.
President Clinton.
To answer your question, no.
Fine.
The president has ordered federal officials to try to find ways to stop attacks on the nation's abortion clinics. Told U.S. attorneys to put together local task forces of law enforcement people and ordered U.S. Marshals to consult with area abortion clinics about what to do regarding possible threats. Attorney General Reno will be meeting with law enforcement people today about coming up with additional security measures. New York Congresswoman Nita Loy, the chair of the Congressional Women's Caucus, is demanding that the Justice Department provide federal marshals to any abortion clinic that requests them.
In Brookline and in Pensacola, pro-life extremists use a gun. In Washington, D.C., they hope to accomplish their goals legislatively. The methods are different, but the intent is the same: to take women backwards, to marginalize women's health, to restrict access to reproductive services, and we will fight them every step of the way.
And a 22-year-old aspiring hairdresser is to be arraigned this morning in Norfolk for allegedly spraying an abortion clinic with bullets. John Salvi also accused of killing 2 receptionists at separate abortion clinics in Brookline, Massachusetts on Friday. And a manhunt remains underway this morning, South Florida, for 5 killers who tunneled their way out of prison. Escapees all from Cuba doing time for first-degree murder. John Townsend, superintendent of the Glades Correctional Institution, says the men are extremely dangerous, though he is not sure that they actually are armed.
At the point of their departure, we had no knowledge that they were armed with any firearms. They could be armed with what we call homemade weapons or shanks, which are metal objects that are sharpened.
And O.J. Simpson's lead lawyer says he is still quarterbacking the defense team. Yesterday's New York Daily News paper in New York reported that Robert Shapiro would be bumped down to second string once the case actually goes to trial.
If it were me, I would let Johnny Cochran try the case. He's a much friendlier person.
The Daily News said O.J. wants attorney Cochran to take over from Shapiro and handle most of the courtroom duties.
Plus, he's probably smarter than Shapiro, and obviously doesn't care how he dresses. He wears a wrinkled, hideous suits that don't fit.
Yes.
He's in there. He's a fat boy, too, isn't he?
A little bit. He
could have danced at that Orange Bowl halftime show.
With no problem.
Johnny Cochran, little spandex outfit, doing the boogaloo or whatever.
After a meeting between the lawyers and O.J. at the county jail, Shapiro said he'll remain in charge of the overall team. Mr. Cochran says there's plenty of work, though, to go around for everybody.
There's enough work for everyone. There's plenty to do. I think you'll probably see an increased role for Mr. F. Lee Bailey.
I don't think so. I don't think we want to hear that.
No.
Who described? Well, go ahead.
No, the Daily News of New York this morning continuing to report there's been a change, though, in defense courtroom strategy of some sort.
Who in the Washington Post described the Marion Barry inauguration as a cross between a basketball game
and a revival? That's a quote attributed to the Washington Post. I didn't actually see it in the paper, but it is quoted as such on our wire services this morning, I-Man.
Is it in today's Washington Post?
We'll pin it down for you. As a matter of fact,
Jane, can you get it?
Speaking of pinning
right
it.
Here.
Got it.
Is it a news story or a column?
It's a news story.
Written by Yolanda Woodley.
Well, I guess it's okay then.
They're shutting it out. Yeah. Jesus, God.
What has happened here?
Yolanda says it's her observation. That's all. You found it right there.
Barry beamed as he took the oath of office at the University of the District of Columbia to begin his fourth term as mayor, and a jubilant crowd of 2,000 supporters cheered, applauded, and stomped their feet, giving the inauguration ceremony the feel of a victorious basketball game. Or a revival meeting.
Give me the ball. Give me the ball.
So that's.
Let's you forget barbecue.
But did they serve watermelon and fried chicken?
We have no report of that, if in fact it occurred.
Well, how does that get in the paper?
Well, you got to ask Yolanda. She wrote the thing.
Well, I mean,
come on. What can I tell you?
I don't want my sensibilities offended when I'm reading the news in the Washington Post.
Get out of here.
Really? You know how I feel about that?
Yes, I do, I bet.
Is my brother walking around there in Santa Fe yet?
Let's see.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. Who can we meet, Fred?
Here's a plant.
He's actually cleaned his office up a little bit.
He looks fine.
Marijuana plants.
Can you hear me, Fred?
Later.
Unless he has the TV on.
Well, it looks like he's cleaned it up since Deirdre and I were there. Can you hear me, Fred?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Not.
I can hear you.
It was a satellite problem.
Oh, he's got to pick up a phone.
Fred?
Yeah?
Pick up a phone, Fred. Hello? Hey, Fred!
Jesus.
A dynamite tape to himself.
My brother, Fred. Oh, he wants to see himself on television. Pick the phone up, Fred.
Hello?
We can't hear you.
You can't?
No.
There's something wrong with this microphone.
Well, obviously, Fred, if we can't hear you.
What are you being short with me for?
Well, because you've been a little risque and...
I haven't been risque.
Tasteless this morning.
No, I haven't been tasteless. I've been...
It's a dog sniffing his crotch. No, but he hasn't been tasteless.
Yeah, but...
He can sniff his own. Why is he sniffing mine?
It's 20 minutes after the hour.
You don't need a weatherman to know which way the wind blows. You don't need a weatherman to know it. Imus in the morning.
Sound like the blues.
It's the blues.
Yeah, I know that. Being into health and nutrition, here's a word you should know: Twin Lab. What is Twin Lab? It's a vitamin I've been taking for years. It's the world's leading vitamin, mineral, and nutritional company. The Twin Lab has been around for over 25 years. Did you know this?
Yes, I did, as a matter of fact.
Making the finest supplements money can buy. Twin Lab makes over 300 great products, including all the major vitamins and minerals from A to zinc. Multivitamins for adults and little children. The largest selection of antioxidants and a full line of sports and fitness supplements. Twin Lab, the sponsor of the Auto Body Express.
Great.
Minerals in all vegetables, certified kosher capsules. All nutritional supplements are not the same. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Some of them are Jive. Some of them we've even promoted on this program. We've now learned were just hideously trumped up phony deals.
Yep, Health Jive.
Twin Lab. It's a word for good health. Anything else I'm supposed to read?
No, that's it.
No, okay.
We have 14 radio stations currently, soon to have 17. We're pretty busy.
Mike Craven, Chairman, Chief Operating Officer of Liberty Broadcast.
I wrote that story,
Fred, how are you? How's it going there?
Fine.
We can't hear you, though. I mean, we couldn't hear you when you were walking around.
Yeah, well, they had that mic. They have a mic I'm wearing on my thing, but apparently it's not working.
No. Well, we'll come back to it in a minute.
All right. I'll stay in here.
I guess, yeah. Yeah. How do you feel?
Fine.
Yeah.
You look good.
You look great.
I was being facetious.
How the hell can I look great? I can see myself.
Is that your underwear you have on there?
Well, that's my, those long johns.
And a Border Patrol T-shirt.
Yeah. Got that Border Patrol T-shirt in El Paso.
Did you hire that maid?
Oh, maid never showed up.
Oh, my God, I can't understand why she wouldn't show up at your house, can you?
I want one of them Swedish maids.
Yeah, fine. Just hang on a minute, will you?
Okay.
Put my brother back on hold on 7.
Fred.
I wish that microphone worked so we could meet Bob.
Can you call Bob in there?
Yeah, put him on the phone.
Is this the second stop set? This is only the first?
It's a disaster.
Well, this is just a disaster, isn't it?
Sort of. This is the first time we've ever had to make up 2 sets in one show.
Oh, man.
Which was another reason that we shouldn't be on television. This is a radio program.
You want to drop one?
I want to drop C-SPAN.
Well, I'd rather not.
The entire concrete ramp will be replaced in both directions. These ramps are expected to reopen by Labor Day 1990.
I mean, you can't charge people all these money for the commercials and not run them.
That's true, but in our case, we could drop a set, and a lot of them would be add-ons and networks. And I would imagine that around the country they're in the same situation.
All right, well, let's do that then. And then let's do Breen. We'll get Breen and Fred together.
In the meantime, they ask for your patience. This special traffic report has been brought to you by MTA.
All right, here's Lori McNichol with the 9X Mobile Fan Highway Patrol at 24 after the hour in New York. Good morning, Lori.
Good morning, Mr. Imus. This report is brought to you by Copeland Ackerman. Nobody fights for your legal rights like the Fair Play legal team.
Brain,
if you've been injured, you can get the cash settlement you deserve. For a free consultation, call Copeland Ackerman at 1-800-FAIR-PLAY. That's 1-800-FAIR-PLAY.
What was that number again?
1-800-FAIR-PLAY.
And how would you reach if you called that number?
Probably Walter, who would then put you through to either Ann or Michelle. But Michelle is on maternity leave, so you'd probably get Ann.
These are these two...
Legal Eagles.
Legal ambulance chasers.
No, now they're just...
Two attorneys advertising on a traffic reports.
providing a service that, otherwise people might be unaware that they had good counseling.
Some cosmic irony there.
Yeah.
I'm on the neck brace on. The clock kicked back, and I don't know where I am.
10 seconds.
The story point.
8, 7.
Well, no, but I mean, I just have to somehow try to keep track of all this.
Of course.
It's crazy.
I'm Imus in the morning. It's 25 after the hour here in New York, and this was the first time. Was another reason we shouldn't be on television. Just of a lengthy list, an ever-growing list.
This in your face.
First of all, I happen to be an attractive man for 71 or 54 or whatever I am. But it's time for sports now with Brain. Let's do it.
Baby, you gotta love it. Imus in the morning, 2020 sports.
Hands off, straight ahead, Schlesinger, touchdown, Nebraska.
The Cornhuskers are national champs. Good morning.
Go ahead.
First line, you interrupt me.
Well, no, I just want to go ahead.
Good morning, this is Mike Breen with sports. That was the great Don Cricky, our old friend, with the call of Sunday night's Auto Body Express Orange Bowl. This morning's polls are out. Both AP and the coaches poll have Nebraska number 1, Penn State number 2.
Let's check with my brother, Fred. Fred, who's number 1 in college football?
I didn't hear you.
Never mind. Penn State finishes undefeated. They won the Rose Bowl yesterday, and Coach Joe Paterno was pleased for Nebraska coach Tom Osborne.
I wanted them to win a national championship, and I obviously didn't want them to win at the expense of our squad. It wouldn't make that much difference to me for him to get one and I not get one if I've had a couple.
Sounds like he's had more than a couple.
Bottoms up.
Fred, who's the number 1 college football team in your mind?
Florida State. I mean, I don't know who Paterno's trying to kid. He couldn't go down to Florida and beat any team in Florida.
Well,
I mean, they're not number 1.
Well, I don't.
He couldn't. Penn State couldn't beat Colorado.
Why did you ask him?
I don't know why I asked him.
And I know they couldn't beat Florida State or Florida or Miami.
Fred, don't get all choked up about it. You're not going to start crying, are you?
Have a cigarette.
Maybe I will. Or maybe I'll just drop my pants.
Jesus, why does
Be
it?
like the president.
Why does it have to be reduced to this, Fred?
I don't know.
Do we get to meet Bob or anybody there?
No, because you can't. Well, hey, Bob. Quit lying to that customer and come in here. Hey, can we get a shot of Bob?
Well,
Bob used to sell tools down in El Paso.
All right.
That's how I met him. Well, see, there's Bob.
Where, Fred?
We don't have. Oh, there's Bob.
Hey.
Whoa.
Hey, Bob.
That's kind of a
nice
hunk.
lips.
Bob is.
Sure got a purty mouth, don't he?
Yeah, he does. He sees.
This river don't go to
Let's see his
Ainsley.
tush. Yeah, drop your pants, Bob.
You want to meet Bibi?
Yeah, we want to meet Bibi too, Fred.
Hey, Bibi, come here. She's from Greece. She's only been over here about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Souvlaki.
You know, nobody at the Auto Body Express wears any of the products. So we all wear them here, but we're gonna get.
They want to meet you.
It's 28 after the hour, New York. Brain is doing sports. Why don't you continue, Brain, until we get BB here?
Yeah.
We got to get a shot over here.
Well, fine. We'll get that in a second, friend.
What's Brain doing sports for? He doesn't know anything about sports.
Well,
what difference does that make?
Why does he do another Nick game instead of date a cheerleader?
I don't think that's necessary. Mike Breen continues.
Tough loss for Lou Holtz in Notre Dame, annihilated in the Fiesta Bowl by Colorado, 41-24. Coach Holtz knew Colorado would be tough.
They just were so effective with the option in the third down.
It's a tough loss for the Fighting Irish.
I mean, first of all, Notre Dame can't lose enough. They couldn't lose by enough if they got beaten 151 to whatever they got beaten.
Not a big Lou Holtz fan, are you, I-Man?
Well, no, and neither are you, as a matter of fact. Nobody is. So.
Also in bowl action, good guy Gene Stallings wins as Alabama takes the Citrus, and fat guy Bobby Bowden wins as Florida State wins in the Sugar Bowl.
And how about Don Shula, now so fat he has to use a golf cart to get up and down the sidelines, which, of course, will be the next... Bill Parcells will be on the sidelines next year in a hot air balloon.
In NBA, Knicks have made a move that could put them over the top. They've signed veteran center Greg Kite. The 33-year-old Kite, who's played 11 awful years in the league, has played for about 16 teams, and has played poorly for every single one of them.
Well, what role does Coach Riley see, Mr. Kite?
He'll be the backup center.
He will?
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's from BYU. Mormon country.
Right.
Which makes you believe that perhaps Dave Checketts is playing favoritism.
Could be, yeah.
So, good news for the New Jersey Nets. Derek Coleman could return to action after missing 6 games. They host the Pacers tonight. Coleman's missed games with a hand injury. Recently, he ripped the media for their handling of the story that Kenny Anderson had missed a practice.
I mean, I just think you guys try to make a big deal out of nothing.
No, we're not trying to,
Okay, well, where were all you guys when Dwayne Simpson's missed practice? Or what was all you guys when Jason Williams missed practice?
But Kenny's a franchise player.
Whoop-de-damn-do.
That's right.
Word up.
DC know what time of the day it is?
Too bad he wasn't with Tupac when he got shot.
That'll be fine.
Hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. Imus in the morning.
If you gave away 70 cents today, would it make a difference? It would if you gave it to a child in Latin America or Africa.
Fred has lost his mind. Well, Fred got geared up for the big TV appearance.
Christian Children's Fund sponsor.
Goofy.
Call 1-800-654-0700.
What happened to BB? She didn't want to come on?
I don't know.
School books, proper medical care, whatever is needed most. Christian Children's Fund sponsor, you can extend a lifeline to a needy boy.
Nixon, huh?
Sure. 104th?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go through that script.
How'd it go?
Well, fine.
It went flawlessly.
Yeah, so you want to know that picture of you on that View magazine? I got to tell you, you never look so good.
Well, I mean, what do you want?
That was kind of like a cross between Willie Nelson and Michael Landon. Alive. Alive. Really? Not bad.
Did you see Pataki appointed Bernadette?
too.
No, what do you point her?
He appointed her the head of the Parks and Recreation or whatever for the state. I cut it out and I got it at home. I forgot to bring it in. I wasn't sure if you saw it. It happened, I think, the day before you came home. All the appointees, and she was appointed. During the day. You look good. Mr. and Mrs. I-Man.
I know, it just doesn't quite compute yet.
What?
It just doesn't quite compute yet when you say, I have to call my wife.
I know, when I just heard him say, my wife.
I love my wife.
And I'm thinking, well...
She really is. She's good.
Did you have a great time?
Forget about it.
She's a lot of fun. I mean, it's just...
How'd she get along with
I'll tell you what she does, though. You know what she does? I'll tell you about this on the air. She turns in, if her blood sugar gets down, it's not good.
What do you mean?
It's a little grumpy.
If her blood sugar's down, she gets grumpy? Oh, God. I guess we're going to have to do a little trade-out with Hershey's. Oh, God.
She's a sweetheart.
How'd she get along with Fred?
Well, she loves Fred.
Yeah.
Well, Fred, I mean, who can't get along with Fred? Anybody can get along with Fred. If you can't get along with Fred, you can't get along with anybody.
He said it was just, everything was so perfect and so great.
We had such a good time, it's ridiculous.
He didn't let me off the phone for an hour, told me about it.
Yeah, it only cost me $40,000.
Hey, you got away cheap.
Brandwood sent you that, so we showed on the air.
Let me see that. Just get that over here. I want to see that close.
That's a great picture.
You know,
it's got to be like
someday,
one of those celebrity look-alike guys. It's not him.
I mean, that picture's unbelievable.
There's got to be one of those celebrity look-alike guys, you know.
And then you turn to the picture inside, and you got that dumb look.
First Americans. See how the West was lost on the Discovery Channel. Experience the story of Native Americans.
My goal is to get David Hinckley. He's great. Funny there? I mean, why isn't he?
He's very talented.
No, but I mean, he's beyond that. Plus, I mean, you have to write to that level.
Tell him right now, Drasner, you have to give him a big raise to keep him.
Well,
it's the late Michael Landon.
What?
It's the late Michael Landon with blonde hair.
Okay.
You want any gold?
Oh, if you got anything that's any good, let's talk to Fred again. Well, bring that here, Liesl.
Hey.
Oh, you want it?
34 past the hour here in New York City, and it's 34 past the hour in Santa Fe, New Mexico, where my brother is. He's the owner and operator of the Auto Body Express and a frequent contributor to this program, almost a daily. You know what my goal is, Fred?
What?
To get David Hinckley a job at either the New York Times or the Washington Post. Now, he may not want to leave the New York Daily News, but that's out of his control.
Sure. It's not his decision.
My brother likes Hinckley, too, don't you, Fred?
I love Hinckley.
Yeah, Hinckley's our kind of guy. My brother and his dog.
Want to meet Vivi?
Yeah.
Hey, Vivi, come in here and meet my brother.
Well, Fred, I already...
You got something against my brother, Vivi? Huh?
Fred has people working for him whose entire families have actually seen Elvis.
You got something against my brother? You don't want to come in here and meet him?
No, I don't have anything.
Maybe you don't like working here anymore.
Oh, there's
Isn't she cute?
Yeah, she is cute.
Turn around, baby.
What is he saying?
That will be fine. Now, that's enough of that. Let's get back to me.
You buy my brother's book?
That's enough. This is his picture that appeared in, coincidentally, this article that David Hinckley wrote in the New York Daily News, but it could have been we can't see it, can you?
You have it right behind the microphone. Yeah.
Better rough not than him.
Hold it up right by your face.
Yeah. Now, is there much difference between...
That's not you.
Is that Anthropology Digest? Yeah.
Idiot. Anyway, what were we talking about? Also,
talking about you.
Yeah, what else?
So I'm riding across a Navajo reservation in my Jeep with my wife, and I've been married about 3 days.
And you fell in a campfire, and that's why that picture looks like that. I understand.
And here's what we've discovered about Miss Coleman.
What?
Miss Coleman Imus, is that when her blood sugar gets down, she turns into little Chucky.
Really?
Have you seen the Chucky movies?
Certainly. Chucky, the little puppet doll thing guy.
Yeah.
No kidding.
That's what happens. So.
It's an angry woman?
Well, no, but Do you want to look at the map now or not?
A little ill-tempered?
Well,
a little cranky.
So you have to immediately try to find some place to get some orange juice or something. Get that blood sugar back up.
Maybe you should just, carry the packets of sugar or something.
Yeah. She won't eat sugar. She has a candy
Lollipop?
She has a candy bar once a year, so it wasn't time for the candy bar. So you're riding along with little Chucky in the truck, which just can be unpleasant. Did you ever get a hold of Greenfield?
Negative.
No, okay.
No.
Well, we'll try to get Greenfield on maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
See what he thinks about it.
Sure.
A reasoned Jeff Greenfield of ABC News.
With a reasoned overview of what we're looking at here.
So, first of all, we had too many guests this morning. That's number one.
Far too
That's
many.
A.
Far too many guests. That's A.
They were great guests.
Two,
though.
yeah. They were. We'd have been fine with Bob Dole and Tim Russert, and we should have just left it at that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, Alphonse D'Amato, I love Senator D'Amato, but I mean, he's turned into, Winston Churchill now.
Yeah.
We want Alan Nutt.
Well, Mad Dog D'Amato.
That's who we want. We want Mad Dog D'Amato. We don't want Masterpiece Theater.
No.
But I like Dick Armey, don't you?
Very much so.
Except, they get briefed. What did he call my wife? Nedra?
Nedra.
Yes.
Yeah. That's okay.
I listen all the time, my man.
So he needs a better staff as well.
Say hi to your brother Ted.
Well, but I mean, he did try, So.
Oh, he came on. Gangbusters, please.
Yeah.
It was great.
22 till the hour here in New York, and I am Imus the Morning. We'll talk with Fred again in Santa Fe for whatever reason. Fred, you really haven't had much this morning, have you? Other than sitting there smoking and threatening to take your pants off. I mean, which is a new low for C-SPAN, by the way, and will teach Brian Lamb finally a lesson.
No kidding.
Although I'm watching Brian Lamb on Book Notes the other night, and he's sitting there talking with Doris Kern, somebody, who's written a book about the Roosevelts, another book about the Roosevelts.
Why?
And I'm thinking,
the Roosevelts.
Well, wake up. Who's going to read this?
The Roosevelts.
And I'm surfing the channels, and I'm locked on Book Notes. They're doing a halftime of some football game, and they're talking about whether Eleanor Roosevelt was a lesbian or not.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
who cares?
Well, of course she was a lesbian. That's number one. And two, what difference does it make? Does it make any difference to you?
None. Zero.
And then we're going over the seating arrangements up at Hyde Park.
Oh, brother.
The Sarah, she had a place to sit. And FDR, he had a place to sit. Well, yes.
That sounds riveting.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, God almighty, come back to us, Brian. Get these people off.
But who's watching?
Who is the woman? Doris Kern something. I actually
Goodwin.
She's good, isn't she?
Yeah.
I mean, she's a terrific writer. She's no Anna Quindlen or Ellen Goodman, but...
God. Why don't you just leave it at she's a terrific writer?
Yeah. And sort of in the mode of Edna St. Vincent Millay.
Fine.
Just about ready to crack at any moment. Go out in the garage.
Imus in the morning.
You've each been chosen because you're the best. This is a big operation with big risks.
Well, how much time do we have here? Free time to the top of the hour.
First, there's only a 50-50 chance of success. Second, there's no backup, no support, no one to bail
At this
you
point, it's
out.
approximately 5 minutes. We'll give you the exact in a minute.
Then out again.
Did you drop a stop set altogether?
Yes.
So we're only doing 5, and we're still only 5 minutes.
That is correct.
We are going to assassinate Saddam Hussein. Shadow over Babylon. Many countries
will
wanted
go-
Well, let's do Perot again. We only did that once, right?
Shadow
Yeah.
over Babylon. That means fiction in a novel so
You know what I've got to do is wild track a line.
Yes.
And
David Mason. The most
Tomorrow, and just make it today.
since Day of the
Absolutely.
Jackal. A story so close
And then it's usable.
Yep. Shadow over Babylon by David Mason. It's the electrifying new novel.
Well, Fred,
It turns out we have 7 minutes free this hour.
okay. Let's do, is this a traffic stop set?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
At the Acapulco Princess, we make
Nothing's working out for the iMan.
Stephanie, get me some hot coffee, would you please, on something that doesn't taste like Bernard put his underwear in it?
What do you mean? What do you mean taste like?
My wife will probably make the promo, huh, Bernie Blue?
After this one, it's going to be 4 minutes.
Because that was funny.
Or was that funny enough? Well, yeah, of course it was.
It was good.
Challenging 18-hole courses, 7 days
My
a week.
wife. Stop doing that. Just say Deirdre, would you please?
I like to refer to it as my wife.
But it's unsettling right now. I mean, let it wear in a little bit.
I'm very happy with that.
Don't get me wrong, so am I, but it's off-putting.
The heart of your vacation. Certain restrictions apply. Represented by Princess Hotels International Incorporated.
You know what? My hand from that horrible book signing experience is I've developed tendonitis in it.
Yeah.
You know that after that last book signing where I signed for 9 hours, I showed you.
Yeah, it was swollen. Yeah.
My knuckle swelled up the size of it was.
Let me make a quick call.
Some problem?
No. I just.
Who
I
is
get a
it?
free minute. I'm supposed to call. I'll call.
Well, do you want me to?
No.
Do it.
Aren't you going to do a? Aren't you going to play something here? Or are you going to Laurie McMitchell?
Yeah, but I mean, is there some?
No. They're going to.
It's not a bad.
No. Would you stop worrying?
Well, you never have to call.
Let me just make this quick call, just to make sure that it isn't anything.
All right. All right.
If you wouldn't call Mr. before.
Well, 9X Mobile just extended one of their best offers ever to January 29th.
What are we doing here?
Plan, and you can talk up a storm with an extra 30 minutes of evening and weekend talk time every day.
Yeah, and then we'll talk to Fred, and then that'll be basically it.
Sports twice as long on Super Bowl Sunday. Stay in touch with the slopes on that weekend ski trip in March. Spend more time on the phone with Mom on Mother's Day in May. With cellular service from 9X Mobile, you can talk a lot more for a lot less. So get a 30-minute value plan today, or a minute value plan with even more talk time. They all come with double evening and weekend minutes.
What watch?
Back by January 29th. Just
Rolex.
9X Mobile Cellular Center, or call 1-800-9X50.
Where's your Rolex?
1-800-NYNEX.
You've got more money than I do.
This good is really worth talking about. Match minutes offer for new activations only. 12-month contract required. Requires credit check. It requires security deposit.
Please for my Rolex. That's unbelievable.
What?
It's my kid.
And?
There are 5 wild turkeys in the backyard.
All right, here's Lori McNichol now with the 9X Mobile Fan Highway Patrol. Good morning, Lori.
Good morning, I'm Ann. This report is brought to you by Apple Computer. Multimedia CD-ROMs for Macintosh are the hottest things this holiday. Check them out today at a store near you. Macintosh, multimedia you can use. In Middlesex County, northbound Route 18 ramp to South County 1.
Lori, we have a wild turkey sighting.
Update.
Really?
Les McCord, who is Charles' son, who for New Year's Eve went to a Fish concert in Boston.
Uh-huh.
By the way, Les, Fish sucks. They can't suck enough.
It's a great band.
They're better musicians in Green Day.
Marginally.
Than Fish. Les calls. We think there's some horrible problem. Les calls to tell his father that he spotted 5 wild turkeys in their backyard to McCord Mansion.
Wow.
Fine. Tell me your kid doesn't smoke dope.
Are you near some sort of sanctuary or something where there could be wild turkeys roaming around?
I'm Imus in the morning. It's 15 till the hour here in New York. Just talking locally here that Charles McCord's son Les, who goes to
Rollins College,
some party school in Florida.
Yeah.
And he's majoring in...
It's water skiing.
Yeah, water skiing.
Yeah.
Has spotted 5 turkeys.
Yeah. He's on the pipe.
It's obviously drinking wild turkey.
It's just nuts.
All right, now for our final moments with my brother in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Let's go there now to the Auto Body Express. So, Fred.
You know, most people don't see 5 wild turkeys in their lifetime.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're the most elusive bird there is.
God almighty.
Well,
here we go.
That's so.
You know, traveling with Deidre when you have to stop and get some orange juice for her to get her blood sugar up.
All right.
Imagine if you were traveling with Charles. Have to pull into McDonald's and get that about 3 of them Hungry Man meals and a side of cakes.
You know, here's the problem.
This is such an exaggeration.
Charles denying that he's fat, of course.
Well, I mean, does the TV lie?
No, the TV doesn't lie, and we have the wedding pictures to prove it where you're not sucking in that
He's
gut.
taking up 3 chairs.
That's just stupid.
Fred, did everybody who called you and ordered stuff for Christmas, did they all get that?
I gotta go now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure.
Well, you know, you have I had a few little problems, yeah.
Of course, I guess LL Bean had some problems too.
Well, they all have problems.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting better all the time. You know what I'm saying?
You grow every day, right, Fred?
Sure. Yeah, you learn a little bit every day. You get a little more proficient every day.
Will you be watching C-SPAN tomorrow as they kick off the 104th Congress, Fred?
Oh, well, of course I will. Sure. I'll tell you, Newt's going to explode in about 60 days.
Well,
I mean, he's over with. Something's going to, I don't know, they'll indict him for something or something.
Well, they're trying.
That's my long-range sports lock.
Your long-range sports lock.
He's going to self-destruct in 60 days.
Fred, I love you very much. I'll call you later.
And are they going to try to, let me get this straight. Yeah. Are they going to try to convict O.J. with DNA?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Johnny Cochran will have that jury thinking DNA's ingredient in barbecue sauce for that trial's over.
On that note, Fred, I love you very much, and I'll call you when I get off.
You will?
Yeah.
No, you don't have to do that.
It's 12 minutes till the hour here in New York City.
Now, continuing his mission to regain political viability, here is the billionaire industrialist, founder of United We Stand, H. Ross Perot.
Amos, hack up that leg for me for just a minute.
Why?
I want to take a look at that ball and chain. Just a little welcome back, Happy New Year, joyous marriage joke, Amos. Yeah. She got you doing rope tricks? Because you look like Bob Packwood in a room full of blow-up dolls. Wore out. Well, the way I see it, about 6 months down the road, you're going to be wishing that discount mattress outfit you're always advertising sold brand-name stretchers. Just a little age disparity joke. Yeah. Don't go getting your underwear in a knot. Now, wait a minute. You don't wear undershorts, right?
Well, no.
That is sick. Nothing comes between you and your Calvins, or in this case, your Wranglers.
Right.
I'll bet that ain't the first Wrangler you've ever had wrapped around those scrawny legs, but that's a whole other matter you probably don't want to go into here.
No.
Anyway, I know how these weddings can go sour on you when you're a high-profile person. You remember how George Bush tried to sabotage my world-class daughters?
Yeah.
Now, you didn't have any lesbians showing up on you out there in Utah, did you? No? Oh, that's right. Fred had a date, didn't he?
No, that was four-legged Fred.
Whatever. Now, I get criticized sometimes for being paranoid, Amos, just because I sicked a couple of detectives on my own children.
Yeah.
But I must say, I am very impressed with this new security system you put in right here.
What?
Cameras everywhere, keeping an eye on everything. I like it.
No, those aren't security cameras. This is C-SPAN.
I knew that. I'm a billionaire. C-SPAN, huh?
Yeah.
With that Brian Lame?
No, Brian Lamb.
I'm sticking with Brian Lame, Amos. Have you caught any of those Lincoln-Douglas debate reenactments?
Good point.
Here's a memo to Bobby De Niro and Liam Neeson. Don't turn in your SAG cards just yet, boys. And I don't know how you feel about it, Amos, but the sooner that yellow bus goes off a 100-foot embankment, the better I'm going to like it. Or maybe slams head on into John Madden's bus, and then, just for Mr. Lamb, gets creamed by a speeding bookmobile. I mean, I can't make up my mind which is more riveting. Some absolutely unknown congressman from butt-blemish Arkansas reading an inane statement to an empty House chamber during special orders, or Brian Lamb talking to some bow-tie-wearing egghead who's just written the definitive biography of Millard Fillmore's Treasury Secretary. It just can't suck any worse than that. Now to conclude here, Amos, the 104th Congress opens for business tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Newt, Phil Graham, Jesse Helms, and the boys?
Yeah.
Weren't they those guys who tried to get Ned Beatty to squeal like a pig for him in Deliverance? I mean, believe me, there's your proof that Ross Perot doesn't hold the monopoly on sounding stupid, Amos.
No.
Anyway, the 104th in a nutshell, as Perot sees it.
Right.
We're still held hostage. Nothing different happened on November 8th, and only the names have been changed to protect the guilty. And you can yank that off for your soundbite, Amos.
Yank this.
Ankry? This river don't go to Ankry. He sure got a pretty mouth, ain't he? Take off them panties. And much obliged for having me on your show. When I call your name, Imus in the morning.
Over the years, statewide capital has helped thousands of...
Sing it, man. Fred. So that's it, bro. Thanks a lot, huh? Thank you. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'll call you when I get off. Pardon me? Well, I think it was fine. I'll call you when I get off. All right, I love you. Statewide capital will even pre-qualify you so that you can shop for a house. That's it, isn't it? So for all your mortgage needs, call Statewide Capital at 1-800-DIAL-CASH. That's 1-800-DIAL-CASH. Statewide Capital is located at 152 EAB Plaza, Uniondale, New York, and in New
Jersey at 72 Essex Street in Lodi.
Thank you very much, Joe.
There is one live spot left, however.
Okay, what is it?
11 to 6.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation. Imagine this. Attack America. Your home, your land, your whole way of life. It happened to the first Americans. See how the West was lost on the Discovery Channel and experience the story of Native Americans.
I like Russell, don't you?
How the West was lost.
He is one of the more impressive people that I think we've ever run into.
You know what's interesting about him is there's a guy who certainly didn't start out to want to be in television.
Oh, I know.
In the media at all.
I know.
Huh? Yeah.
America's neighborhood pharmacy. Caring. With great prices, too. Like this New Year's sales special. Entrust Plus Bladder
Where are you
Protection.
going?
12-count shield, $1.95.
Drank too much coffee this morning. Like 100 cups. And when I was off, I drank about 2 cups a day.
At participating value-rate pharmacies. Check your yellow pages.
Yeah, 7 minutes till the hour. They are Italy's most prestigious pen for over 75 years is the Aurora, just like the iMan guy right here.
Yeah, let me see that, iMan.
It's a $2,000 fountain pen.
I hear you.
You know, they write better than a Mont Blanc. You know why? Because you can write up with them.
What do you mean, write up?
Well, I mean, just push it up.
Oh, I see. All right.
I signed about 10,000 books with an Aurora pen. And the ink saturation on the paper is better, even
like
with the
that.
ballpoints and stuff.
Yeah. It's very important.
Aurora, A-U-R-O-R-A. You probably never heard of them. You can find them at better stationery stores and jewelry stores and stuff around.
Yeah.
It's available at the June Pen Shop over in Trump Tower, Lexington Avenue and 61st Street. Or you can call Aurora and get, you know, a complete brochure, a beautiful brochure, all the pens they have. 1-800-782-JOON. 782-5666. Aurora Pen.
We have 14 radio stations currently, soon to have 17. We're pretty busy.
Mike Craven, Chairman, Chief Operating Officer of Liberty Broadcasting.
Are you through, Goofus?
Huh?
Are you through?
Yeah.
I have here an Aurora pen.
You do?
I got the train in New York City. Got our special little cafe car where we have the
You
table.
know what I'm waiting for is the white buffalo. I mean, it's the turquoise buffalo jacket. The Mexico state flag on the back.
Yep.
Liesl, you know my book's still on the bestseller list. Are you aware of that?
Fine, God, shut up. Jeez.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Jesus Christ.
My God.
What?
You and your book. On and on.
Well, I proved my point, didn't I?
Yes, you proved your point.
Much to the dismay of
everybody.
Everybody on the planet. Well, I don't care. If they'd have done as I asked them to do 15 years ago, we wouldn't have had this problem.
Wouldn't have gone through this, would we?
No.
No.
So how are you, sweetie?
Good. I'm fine, thank you. Oh.
Your hair's gotten grayer, you know that? Aren't you on TV all the time? You're going to have to do something about
And it's
that.
getting thinner.
You know what? I made.
No, I just made an observation.
No,
There's no reason to attack
I made
it's
a New Year's
receding.
resolution
It's
to
receding
be nice
further.
to my elders.
Well, that would include me.
Oh, damn right it would include you.
It's receding more, isn't it?
I think it's not necessary to keep referring to my age to make me feel bad.
Everything went well?
Yeah.
Good. When'd you get back from,
Well, you know, we were at Fred's and we kept putting off coming back because
we had too much fun.
We having too much. I mean, he's a lot of fun, you know. So we just stayed there.
And that was the first time that you met Fred?
Yeah.
So they hit it off good?
Well, she met him at the wedding.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, she liked him. Well, there's nothing not to like about Fred, is there?
Fred,
Hey, if she can like you, she can like Fred.
That's what the deal is.
And how was your vacation there, Sunshine?
It's classified information. I can't. It was great.
She's going to come back and get this.
Sure, it'll be fun. How's your mother?
She's doing well. Thank you. What do I do with the other paper?
The what? The what? She is sick. You're so sick. No, that's the old man, you idiot.
What?
I said, don't ask about his dad. Well, Charles.
What?
He's such a sick.
No, I know. It's just you're hopeless.